Good afternoon, everybody. Come on in. I decided I'm going to share a quick, short, and sweet video with y'all. This is something that we used to eat a lot when I was a child. Mama just called it okra, corn, and tomatoes. A lot of people call it succotash. So very quickly, I'm going to show you how to make it real good and tasty. First of all, you saute your peppers and onions. Now, some people might say, ooh, I never knew you put peppers and onions. And I'm going to also slice some celery and put in there. This is the way I do mine. Makes it good and tasty. You can eat it just like it is. It's almost like a thick gumbo. You could even throw some shrimp in there if you want to. Or you can just eat it like it is. Or you can put it over some rice. And today, because I've got fish, I'm going to put it over some fish that I cooked for Sunday dinner. I got plenty of salmon left over. So I'm doing this okra, corn, and tomatoes to eat with a piece of fish. And maybe a little bit of rice on the side. So y'all watch and learn. So this is a small onion I've got in here and a couple of those red confetti peppers. I just sliced them up and put them right in there. Hold on just a second. I think I'm going to go ahead and put my celery in there. Okay, I got a stalk of celery. I'm going to do a half a stalk. I'm not going to do a whole stalk. And this is just for some little extra added flavor because, as you know, we've talked about before, celery is a strong flavor of veggie, and it'll take over if you let it. So, but we're not going to let it because we're not going to put a lot in it. So I'm just taking like about this much celery. This is just going to be enough succotash. Yeah, I'll say for about 3 people. You know, if you don't, us, we're big eaters. So, and nobody's gonna eat this with me because guaranteed Kareem don't like it. Tanya likes it, I believe, but she's not here. Tony likes it, he's not here. So this is just what I'm having for lunch today. Ooh, that's a little bad piece right there. Yeah, Tony and Tanya eat it, and they're not here to eat, and Kareem doesn't. So I got this all to myself, y'all. So anyway, just gonna let that saute in there for a little bit. And it's real simple. And the reason I thought to do this was because I was going to just do some tomatoes and rice. And I thought, I want something more. Then I wanted mixed vegetables. And then I thought, I have not done okra, corn, and tomatoes, or succotash, as some people call it. So, the other thing, y'all know me and leftovers and throwing away food. I do not like to throw away food. So, one day last week, I did some corn on the cob. And I had these 3 short ears left. So what I'm going to do is just cut this right off the cob. And it's going to be my corn and my okra, corn, and tomatoes. And I've got a can of Member's Mark diced tomatoes. I don't have fresh tomatoes. So, sometimes you have fresh stuff, sometimes you don't. So the fresh ingredients on this today is just my onions and my peppers and my celery. And let's see, yeah, everything else is going to be either leftover or it's corn or frozen. Okay. Now, y'all know how I do. I go ahead and sprinkle all of my ingredients with some seasoning. This is, look, I'm about out of here. I'm about ready to turn this package inside out and to use it. But I think that's going to be enough. Okay, that's the masala seasoning. And this is the, okay. Just a little bit of curry. Okay. And this has got all kinds of spices in it. So that's why I'm going to put a little bit of this one in there. And of course, these, any dry seasoning like this, the Indian seasoning, they all have turmeric in them. So I know I'm going to get my turmeric in my curry. But this one has like a little bit of ginger in it. That's what I'm getting at. So that's why I want to put this one in there. So, got my dry seasonings in there. So if you don't have the authentic, like I'm so privileged to have the authentic seasonings to go in, you can use curry powder. You can use turmeric and stuff like that. And of course, you're going to put your complete seasoning in there, which will go in later. But right now, just put those two to saute my onions because I want my onions and peppers tasting really, really good. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my little paring knife because we just got these 2, well, we actually got 3 short ears, and all you got to do is just take your little paring knife and just cut that corn right off the cob. It's already fully cooked, and it's gonna be just right because it's got that buttery sweet flavor to it. So this, except for that, maybe this is a nice healthy dish to have. You know the phone's gonna ring, didn't y'all? Okay, it's one of my young ones, I'm sure. So yeah, it's evening time. This is probably my adjuster for my roof leak, so hold on. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if I told you I had a leak in my roof by my stove the last time. It was what you call torrential raining. I think it was out like on the 24th when one of those storms were going through, and it came by here big time and just doused water. And where it leaked at was the little screening porch that I had done a few years ago, and where the roof tied in off that porch onto my kitchen is where that leak was, and it was not guttered. And I'm thinking that's probably, me misdiagnostic. Tony and I got out there and diagnosed the situation. I think that's basically what it is. But we're gonna let we diagnose what probably happened, but we're gonna let the professionals come in here and take care of it. So hopefully that's all that it is, and that it won't be, a big long drawn out project. Because see, those storms are still raging and coming through. I know there's one off the coast of Hawaii or coming through Hawaii or somewhere close around. So we usually get that big heavy rain, but we had not had rain that big and heavy in a long time. So that rain, when I looked out my back door onto the porch by my kitchen window, the water was coming down in sheets. You would have thought there was someone standing up there with a big old wash tub, not a bucket, but a wash tub, pouring water down beside the house where the two roofs hook into. I mean, it was just coming down. I never seen rain that hard like that here. So that's what happened. So as a result, it rained so hard and was hitting that area on that roof so hard, it made its way into my house. So what can I say? I mean, I love the rain. I was so excited that night too, and I'm still excited because it was like dry and hot, and we needed that rain. And we've had rain many times, but I've never had that to happen with the roof leak. So I guess it was just a matter of time. So I think this time around I'm going to get some gutters going. Okay. So now y'all see that's just enough corn. That was all the corn I needed. So this is not a big pot. This is about a 2-quart little pot. So I got my corn in there. Everything's still sauteing up. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in the tomatoes. Turn that heat all the way up. This is a 15-ounce can of Members Mark naturally steamed and peeled tomatoes. And on the can they say from in the field to this can, 5 hours. So that's, in other words, they're saying that these tomatoes are really very fresh. That's as close to fresh you can get, I suppose. If you don't go and pick your own out in the garden, I guess is the point they're trying to make there. So anywho, y'all, here we go. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put in my okra. Okay, for you okra lovers, this ought to be the dish that gets your juices flowing. Look at that. I might not even need all the okra, but I do want enough in there. I may have to put a little bit of water in there. Okay. Ooh, that's gonna be good, y'all. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put my teaspoon of other seasoning. That was my garlic powder. Yum, yum, yummy, y'all. And I'm going to do me a teaspoon of complete seasoning in there. Yummo. Yummo. You know you got to have black pepper in that dish. And let's see. I like lots of black pepper in my succotash. Okay. Ooh, it smells so good, y'all. And I'm going to have to put just a little bit of water, not a lot of water in there, because I need this to be able to cook. I gotta go ahead and put the rest of that okra. It's not all that much okra. More okra, let's see. I don't want to put too much. You know what? I'm gonna leave those other few because sometimes if you're doing a pot of soup and want a pot or two of okra, but this is okra, corn, and tomatoes. What can I say? There it goes. I love okra, and I'm always thinking about what other people like and don't like. What I remember at that moment when I dumped the rest of the okra, Kareem don't even eat this. So we're gonna do us about a fourth cup of water in there, okay? Alrighty then. Yeah, that's perfect. And you see, this can be frozen. This can go in the freezer. I'm gonna add just a little bit. Let me put my hand there and taste. You have no salt in here so far, y'all. Now, ooh, this one's good. The only salt content is I'm just gonna put a half a teaspoon, and that's about it. Half a teaspoon of my chicken flavored bouillon. Okay, it's powdered. Okay. I'm almost, the other thing that the other vegetable that makes this succotash would be lima beans, and I don't have any cooked ones. No, I don't. Okay. Ooh, that's perfection, y'all. I'm gonna let that go ahead and cook. I think I got enough corn here. There it is, y'all. So quick and so simple. So let me just say, this probably takes from start to finish to get it cooked up, and hey, probably 30 minutes. And it's like, it's almost like soup, but not. It's not gonna have any meat in here. If I wanted to, in the next day or two, if I had enough left over, I could go ahead and drop some ground turkey, chop up some ground turkey and put it in there, throw some shrimp in there. A lot of different things I could throw in there to make it into a totally other dish. This is why I love food like this that you can convert. It's very versatile food. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit with y'all. And when it gets done and I plate me up some and show you how I'm going to eat it, then I'll be back. So thank y'all for tuning in. Don't know if I said it or not, but I'm going to cover this and let it simmer for about 30 minutes and it should be ready, okay? And I'm thinking those shrimp are calling me. I'm trying my best not to make this a shrimp deal, but we'll see when we come back. Okay, y'all, I'm going all the way in with this okra, corn, tomatoes, because whenever my mama cooked it, she did these little corn pones too. So we're just gonna make a few. Gotta have a few. This is just a cup of meal, a teaspoon of brown sugar, and about a fourth of a cup of well, you just pour your water to the consistency, because I don't even measure. So I know it's 1 cup of meal in here, and a teaspoon of sugar or brown sugar, and then pour the water until your consistency get like this. Probably maybe about a half a cup of water. If not, you might need to pour more, just a little bit more. But anyway, you just stir it up real good. Make sure that grease is good and hot, not too hot because you don't want them to burn. And you got yourself some little old cornbread patties, honey, to eat with that succotash. Now, what else were you going to eat succotash with, or okra, corn, and tomatoes? Honey, you have to have, when you cook food like this, you have to have all the complimentary sides to go with it, y'all. Don't want it to stick, because I want it nice and thick. Y'all see? Can y'all see over there? No, you can't at all, but I'm going to show you in a minute. It's nice and thick. I'll get back to the succotash. Get y'all back to it, rather. Remember now, when you're cooking, please watch your food so it don't get all burned up. And I mean, it happens at times, because it's happened to me as often, or rather, as used as I am to being in the kitchen. So these are about ready to turn. So when they get about like that, just flip them over. Cook them Probably about 2 or 3 minutes, about 3 minutes on each side, and they should be done. Those are not quite ready yet. Got about another minute on these. But anywho, that's what I'm doing in this pan here, is cooking some little corn pones, or some little cornbread patties, however you want to call them. Anyway, it's cornbread. That keeps me from making a whole pan in the oven, because nobody's here that likes cornbread but me, and me might eat the whole thing. So this is enough right here. If somebody drops by, I'll have a few extra anyway. Okay. Let me get the camera where y'all can see that succotash. See what it's doing over there. See, it's cooking nicely. I want it nice and thick. See how nice and thick it is. That juice is cooked down. And I only had to add about a half cup of water to this, because I don't want it watery. I want it like soup. So now, it's been cooking about 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take the lid off so it will not continue to make the juice. I want it nice and thick. And like I said, I've got a piece of salmon from yesterday, from Sunday dinner. I'm going to heat me a piece of that salmon up, because I got a bunch of it left. I'm going to heat up, because nobody ate it but Kareem and I. I had thought it, because Tony and Tony was supposed to come, but they ended up, they had to go do something in another little town. So I thought, well, since I got it thawed out, go ahead and cook it. I'll have to do it again sometime. But that fish, that salmon is really good. You just have to make sure, I don't know if I said it, so when you purchase a salmon, unless, for me, now this is me talking, if you're going to put it on the grill, or if you're going to put it in the pan and pan fry it, you can buy the one with the skin on it, okay? Now, if not, I would suggest that you get skinless. The skinless, of course, especially if you buy that big, long piece that I had. That piece that I purchased was like $24. So, and that was skin on, because it costs more skin off. Okay, so if you don't want that skin on, and the reason I would say don't get it with the skin on, when I turned it over and was getting ready to take the skin off, because I thought, I can take the skin off, for $2 or $3 less, because I had never skinned one. So I thought, that's something to do. Guess what? The thing still had the scales on it. It was full of, and you know what I cannot stand is fish scales. I can't do it. I can't stand fish scales. So, I don't know if that's a thing, that when you purchase salmon with the skin on, that they leave the scales on. I don't know. Or if that was just a piece that they forgot to scale. I don't know. But I didn't appreciate it being on there, so guess what? I was going to try to scrape the scales off, but then I didn't want to keep messing with the meat and, on and on with it. So what I did was what I was going to do anyway. I just slid my little knife between the skin and the flesh and just ran it through there. It comes off pretty easily, but I just didn't, I don't know. Does anybody know, does the scales always come on the fish when you purchase it was like a whole salmon, big old, I guess a 6-pound salmon, because what I paid for was like for 3 pounds. It was like, I know it was at least 3 pounds, because it cost me $25. I didn't like that little part right there. So anyway, just be mindful to know whether or not, and know that possibly you're going to get scales on that big old piece of fish. And maybe some of you, okay. Alright, y'all, I'm back. My camera skipped or glitched, so disregard, please. Technical difficulty. Okay, I'm back now. Everything is going smoothly. The succotash is all done. Look at that. That's where I want it, nice and thick like that. Succotash, okra, corn, tomatoes, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to put the shrimp in it today, but if there so happens to be some left in the next couple of days, I'll bring it back and I'll show you something else we can do with it. Of course, my corn pones are ready. After I took them out of the pan, of course, I had to drain them on a paper towel. But here's a plate where you can see what it looks like plated. There's my piece of salmon that I had from Sunday dinner. And all I'm going to do is help me a nice bowl of my okra, corn, and tomatoes. Ooh, am I going to eat that much? Anywho, that's a nice meal for lunch, y'all. Come on in. Look, this brought back so many memories. And I'm going to sit down here and I'm going to enjoy those memories right by myself, y'all. So this is my, let's see, today is Monday. You won't see this probably until Tuesday. But anyway, this is my Monday afternoon between lunch and dinner. This is what I had a taste for. So this is what I'm going to get me something ice cold to drink. And I'm just going to have me a good time with this plate of food. So listen, guys, keep those prayers going up so the blessings will continue to come down. Stay in the gap. Plant yourself in the gap and pray without ceasing for God's grace and mercy on all the things, because you know, like I said, no matter what we see, feel, or think, God is still in control of all of this stuff that's going on, and the best that we can do is just continue to pray without ceasing that God will bring His end to it. We don't want our end, we want His end. We want His will to be done on earth as it is in heaven for each one of us. So keep the faith. Be patient. The word of God says, be anxious about nothing. Patience is a virtue. So just try to get a hold of yourself. Think on some of those good things, some of those good blessings that God has granted you along the way. Think about all the good stuff that's good. And you, some of y'all might say, well, I ain't had that. Well, you woke up this morning. That is miraculous to me. That you woke up, that you're breathing, that you can see, that you can feel, that you can think, that you ate breakfast. Pick any one of those and tell God thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love y'all so much. So remember, keep the prayers going up now so the blessings will continue to come down. Until I decide to cook something else again, love you guys. Toodaloo. Yummy.